Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles 2 is the 15th game in the long-running Demon Slayer series dating back to PS1 and PS2. Wait, no, that's Naruto. This is the second game in the series. The game takes place after the events of Mugen Train. Now, I do not remember if the first game covered Mugen Train. I don't think it did, unless it was some DLC. But it takes place after those events, following some interesting things and some pretty boring things. It felt like the game had a lot of padding in it, and we'll kind of discuss that a little bit later. Now, there's multiple modes to pick from, and I did kind of like that about this game, is there is a lot of things to do. You have the story mode, which takes place from the events after Mugen Train leading up to him training with the other Demon Slayers, and then it ends there. But you also do have where you can do trials, you can do survival mode, endurance mode, online play. There's a lot to do in Demon Slayer, and I feel like a lot of replayability. So I did play and review the first game, and some of the complaints I had with the first game was the story mode, while being fun and interesting, was kind of dull outside of the actual combat. The traversing and doing all this stuff was really cool, if only they implemented it a little bit better. However, they didn't do it. They just were like, okay, well, it worked with the last game, we're just going to continue down this same path. A lot of the areas when you're traversing from point A to point B are just dull. There's nothing there. It's literally going from point A to point B, picking up a collectible that's on your same path, and then maybe you have a side quest, which the side quests are the exact same thing. Go talk to somebody else. The side quest's done. Oh, hey, there's a demon. Go down this straight path, fight the demon. That side quest's done. There wasn't really anything, minus having to do it for a trophy, that really had me going like, I need to do these side quests. The story's good, but it takes place from the anime. Granted, I stopped watching the anime for Mugen Train just because I had the end spoiled, and I had a major plot point, which is covered in this game, spoiled as well. So I was like, I don't really want to watch this. I do plan on going back and watching it, but oh well. The story in the game was very good because it does cover the story for the actual anime, which is good. But the game is gorgeous. The art style, the movements, everything just is so crisp and beautiful. The doing fifth form, water, demon slash, whatever. Super gorgeous, just beautiful, beautiful fighting in this game. And the fighting. Let's talk about the fighting because that's why we're here. Now, I had this same complaint with the first one. I played a lot of Naruto Ninja Storm, and so playing this game, it just kind of feels like a cheap imitation of it. Naruto Ninja Storm, you press triangle, triangle, circle to use one of your ninjutsus, stuff like that. And this one, you're just tapping triangle to do one of your Demon Slayer attacks. Triangle up for another kind, things like that. Square, square, square. There's not a whole lot of variation between your regular attacks and your Demon Slayer attacks, or whatever they're called. And I just feel like there should be a little bit more depth to the actual combat. The combat's fun and everything. I did enjoy the combat throughout the entire game, but I just feel like there was a little bit more depth to the combat, a little bit more things to do, some ranged attacks, things like that. Unfortunately, it's just kind of good, but not great. Now, I played some of the other modes too. I played Endurance mode, Path of the Demon Slayer, which I think is going off previous things that happened in the first game, stuff like that, and I did enjoy it, but I do think that there is a lot to do past the story, and I think that's something that's really cool about this game, is I feel like the first one didn't have a whole lot to do. I got the platinum very quickly in the first one, and I feel like with all these other tasks that there are in this game, the platinum is going to take me a little bit of time. I did get all the trophies for the story. Everything with that is done. All the S ranks, everything. Now I just have to go through and do survival mode and stuff like that. But there's a lot of meat there. The nice thing is there are no online trophies, so you do not have to worry about online. And I know that is a huge complaint about a lot of the trophy hunters out there, is the fact that you do have to do online trophies and things. With this game, you don't have to worry about that. So I think that's a really cool thing that they did. Now, on to bugs and glitches. I ran into one glitch when running across rooftops, and I'll have it here. There's sections in between, and I was just running on the air. It was kind of weird. Other than that, though, the game ran smooth. One complaint I did have, though, is the invisible barriers in fights in the arenas. There were times where I'd go to be dodging backwards and there's an invisible wall, and instead of being able to dodge backwards, I just hit the wall, and unfortunately that made it to where I got hit. I don't know if that really counts as a bug or glitch, but those invisible barriers, invisible walls in games, especially fighting games, is always a huge annoyance. Now, before we go over the score, I do want to bring up one thing about the story. Like I said earlier, it felt like there was some padding in there. There was some great parts in the story that had me engaged, but then there was other parts that were just slow and just felt like it was there. Felt like I was watching a lot of cutscenes that weren't really exciting, anything like that. And I know it's things for the anime and it's carrying over to the anime, but to have the entire last chapter be about training and just doing stuff for training, it just kind of felt lackluster. Yeah, there's a cliffhanger at the end, but overall, I felt like the story could have been better. That being said, the game is fun. It's a blast. If you like Demon Slayer, I highly suggest the game. If you've played the first game, you're probably going to enjoy this game. Or if you're a fan of fighting games, especially Naruto Ninja Storm, you'll probably end up liking Demon Slayer 2. I would give Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles 2, an 8 out of 10. If you have any questions about the game, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Platinum Review goodness. As always, this is Chris with Platinum Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. Keep getting those trophies, and I'll catch you on the next video.